Have the whole family gather around, for opinions that most all can relate. We give scores that, if nothing else, are sound, except I gave Vivarium an 8. With the holidays drawing oh so near, putting us all in a nice festive mood, a little merry with a dash of fear, can we find a movie that's any good? We've watched killers go on a murder spree, we've also seen ghosts go hunt a hot chick. We've even seen an alien or three, but never have we seen a bad Saint Nick. Oh, we'll have as much fun as your Gramp is. Now listen as we talk about Krampus.
Quiet on set. Krampus, take one. Rolling.
Hey, that's Jobe.
Jobe.
I'm Trace. Guest star, Marshall.
Say hi, Marshall.
Hi. How's
Hey,
everyone
Marshall.
doing today?
Do you think?
Welcome to Scare by Scare on this lovely. Well, we're recording this on the 8th of December, but it's gonna come out around Christmas or the holiday season.
Movie magic.
Movie magic. This is a podcast. Anywho, for the holiday season, we at Scare by Scare podcast decided that we were going to be watching Krampus because it's slightly Christmassy and also in the vein of our whole shtick is slightly horrifying. So really quick, for everyone who doesn't know, Krampus is a 2015. It's a horror movie, but it's also like allegedly like a comedy movie because it's trying to just kind of dumb as well. So the whole plot is the Engel family right before Christmas. It's Tom, which is played by Adam Scott, and he's the dad. Sarah is the mom. Beth is like the tween daughter. She was a tween, right? Like middle school, high school.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Well, her boyfriend was like smoking a bong. I don't know when kids do that these days.
I don't know, 8.
All right, so she's 8, and then Max, who's the other.
He might actually be 8.
He might actually be.
So she's
8.
probably like 12, 13.
And Tom, he has his mother there, and she speaks German. That's important. Everyone calls her Omi. And it starts off, everyone's just kind of the whole family's getting ready for the holidays, but it's kind of like, because Max got drop kicked another kid during their like Jesus play, and everyone's just like wrestle, rhubarb, all about the holiday thing because you got family coming over, and it's just busy. And out of everybody there, Max is the only person who really believes in Santa Claus and wants to write him a letter, right? However, Sarah's side, the mom side of the family shows up, and they're just the worst. Like it's like the people from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, right? They show up, they're all hick, right? They're pissing and standing up as girls. Like it's just not a good time. It's already bad. The dog shows up too. Everyone's just like, man, this is going to suck. And then Sarah and Linda is Sarah's sister. Their aunt shows up too. And it's even worse because she's a piece of shit. Right. So then they start having like dinner. And Max is like, well, I got my Christmas letter, but one of the other older cousin mean ones stole the letter and is like reading out loud to embarrass the kid. But he's just like, I want everyone to, love each other and have a good life. And then then they just start fighting and beating each other up. And then he tears the letter up and throws it out of his window because he's so angry. But then a severe blizzard comes in and goes, whoosh, it's so chilly. It's so chilly. So chilly. Power's out. Water's out. You can't see. There's snow up the wazoo, right? They don't want to go out. It's just a miserable time, right? But then Beth comes down. She's like, oh, my boyfriend. I haven't heard from him. And to all my people out there that have never lived in a blizzard area, what you don't want to do is send your tween daughter out in the middle of a blizzard unsupervised. You don't want to go out in a blizzard whatsoever. So what they decide to do is send their tween daughter out in the blizzard unsupervised. It's like -20. She was like, oh, I'll just go down and back. It'll be like an hour. Several hours later, we find pause. During that time she's out, she sees a creature out on a house, and then it jumps around, and she gets terrified and she starts running away. And then she hides underneath a car, and she sees this creature walk up and then peace out, but leaves a jack-in-the-box. And then it's implied the jack-in-the-box opens up and like kills her, I believe is the implication there.
Yeah.
And then several hours later, they're like, she hasn't come back yet, even though we told her 1 hour max, and it's been multiple hours. So Tom, the father, and Howard, that'd be brother-in-law?
Yeah,
Brother-in-law. But Howard is like, oh man, we have to go. The shepherd protects his flock. We have to go out, search party. We got to find her. We'll take my Hummer. It'll get out there. We'll storm Normandy, right? So they drive around and they find a house. They go in. It's the boyfriend's house. And there's hoof prints everywhere. And they're like, man, this is weird. And the chimney's split open. Oh, this is weird. Also around this time, they find a snowplow. Unless they find the snowplow first. I don't think it really matters too much.
They do find the snowplow first.
They find the snowplow first, but Tom makes the note that there's a hole in the snowplow. And he's like, well, if you can look, the hole is like outwards. So the person got pulled from the outside, right? They weren't like ejected from the inside out. They were like pulled, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say to the people out there. Shout out to everyone who understands what I'm saying. And as they're looking around, they hear their Beth screaming, right? So they go look, but Howard gets snatched and he gets his leg nibbled on and goes, nom, 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 nom. Tom turns his gun sideways and puts a couple into whatever is underneath the snow, biting at Howard. They get back, and right before they're about to get back, Tom's wife is like, I'm going to go out there and look for them. It's probably completely fine. And then the door busts open, and they're like, shut up. Everything's terrible. Board up the windows. Board up the wall. We're going to die. And then they're like, maybe we shouldn't say this in front of the kids. And they go, yeah, nothing's wrong outside. Everything's cool. Everything's cool, guys. And they're just like, this is weird, man. They just kind of chill out. Howard falls asleep while he's on guard duty, and then we see a large hook descend into the fireplace. This is important because the fireplace has gone out. The grandmother had said to keep the fireplace going strong, keep it lit. The hook in the fireplace hook has a gingerbread man on it. The little fat kid, Howie Jr., Howard's son, if you'd imagine, he goes over and is like, well, let me go take a bite of it. What? The gingerbread man comes to life? This is crazy. Wraps the chain around Howie Jr. and starts pulling him up the chimney. And everyone goes and grabs on and starts trying to pull him out. Long story short, they don't pull him out. They just get his shoe. Howie Jr. is just fucking dead. Apologies to everyone out there that heard me just fucking die. And then after Howie Jr. dies, Grandma decides, you know what? I should spill the beans on what's going should spill the beans on what's going on. And then she pretty much says, back in the day, this exact thing happened. And then the creature hunting them is Krampus. Ooh, an ancient demon who punishes those who have lost the Christmas spirit. Her family lost the Christmas spirit during war in Europe, which might be an okay time to lose a Christmas spirit. And she said Krampus and his helpers came and killed everyone, but left her. Yeah. And then, people just kind of rhubarb around the place. And then we see, I think the next big thing that really happens is Stevie and Jordan, the two other kids of the rednecks, go up to look at some presents, I guess. They get tricked to go up to the attic, and boom, they're getting, we see them just getting eaten by a jack-in-the-box, which is like the size, it's like a caterpillar jack-in-the-box that's face kind of splits open. It's freaky. And it's Tom, Linda, and Tom's wife are trying to sit there and take this guy out. And then there's a bear and a robot and a owl doll thing. At the same time, Howard's fighting off these gingerbread men with a fucking nail gun, right? So after this whole shebang with fighting off people, right, Stevie, one of the kids is alive. Stevie or Jordan's still alive. The other Stevie's alive. Jordan's dead. Howie Jr.'s dead. The dog's dead. Boom, they're taking, we're doing all right. And then boom, Krampus's elves jump through the window and they take Howard, Dorothy, and Chrissy. Chrissy is the little baby. Dorothy's the piece of shit aunt. And then Adam Scott goes, "We got to get to the snowplow," and then we just leave. And then on the way to the snowplow, Tom dies, Linda dies, and then everyone else dies except for Stevie and Max. Stevie gets snatched by an elf, and Max is just kind of sitting there chilling. Krampus says, "Hey man, I know you cool. I'm gonna leave you alive, but don't worry, Max ain't that kind of guy." Max walks on over to where Krampus is hanging out with all his elves and Stevie, and Max goes, "Krampus, you asshole, give me my family back. I take back all my bullshit I said about him." Krampus said, "What?" Max said, "I will kill you, driving crooner." And then Max says, "You know what? Take me instead of Stevie and give me my family back." And then Krampus goes, "What if I take Stevie and Max?" Eh? And they throw them in. He throws them into the demon pit. That's what I'm referring to it as. And then we end with a shot of Max falling down the demon pit. But then, what's this? Max awakens. It's in his bed. It's Christmas morning. He goes downstairs. What? His whole family's alive. Everyone is happy. No arguments. Oh, it's a perfect Christmas day. Everyone's opening presents. There's taxidermy stuff. Max goes to open his first present, and it's the Krampus bell. And everyone's memories of the night, even though they died, they come back to them. And they start realizing, man, that was a really shitty night. Camera pans out. The house is in a snow globe with others in Krampus's lair. What? And that's the end of the movie. So I have a vivid recollection of this movie. I thought it was a quite fun movie. It was a little freaky at times. The like helpers in quotes were freaky.
Weird. Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on this?
The Jack in the Box was definitely the creepiest. Like just the idea of a large caterpillar like creature just like shoving a little girl into his mouth like a kind of python almost. That was a little bit of a weird visual that I didn't need. I feel like life.
The little roar scream they played for was used too much though, because like by the end it's one of those things where you can tell they're using the exact same sound clip over and over again.
Well, they couldn't get Krampus is busy. They couldn't get him in for everything. Oh my god, is it?
I do have to say that the horror / comedy is like there were some parts that were genuinely freaky. Oh, hi, Beep! Family. They're in the background looking
Whoa, at us. Dude, he just doxed his last name.
Oh, the feet family. They measure everything in feet.
Madison, just bleep that out. I'll give you a bleep. 1 sec. Beep!
But like I said, they were all freaky. But like the gingerbread men were like kind of funny. And then there was some good lines in the movie where it's like the one that Dorothy says I liked where it's like, I don't know how to speak German or whatever, but I know what she says, that we're all fucked. I can tell when life's coming at you with its pants down. That was good. That was good.
I should have said that.
Yeah, going back to the creature design, the Jack in the Box was a highlight for sure. I mean, even beyond the concept of just like it picking up children going, "What?" making a mukbang video.
Ugh.
The actual effects for it and puppetry were really solid. Like the way it moved and looked around and blinked, like it felt alive.
You could tell it had mass from eating the kids. Like it didn't just feel like it was too fast after eating 2 or 3 kids, whatever it was. But like you could see the kids in there, and it felt like it was heavy. Right, it was moving really slow.
It looked like a snake who just got done eating a gazelle.
Right. Yeah. The one that was the weakest for me, I think, was the robot, because it was just like a generic robot.
I feel like I was watching Small Monsters.
Right, the teddy bear was like it was like a it was a little scarier teddy bear, right? But like it's out of the realm of normal possibilities for a teddy bear. And then there's that doll / like vulture owl thing that freaked
Oh,
the
I think
out
that
of
was supposed to
Madison.
be
The angel?
a Christmas angel. Yeah.
That
that was a good one.
that one was a good one where they just pan up to the ceiling and they just
That
see
one
it there.
gave me Nightmare Before Christmas vibes because they have the present little toy that looks like has a big round head and is just flying around.
Yeah. The elves were good. I was telling my wife, who's our lovely editor here, that last scene where they're all like getting, in the sleigh with all the elves and they're around, it was giving like the scene where Aslan is going up to the stone table, where it's a lot of close shots of everybody. It's kind of dimly lit. You can't really see what's happening, but it's a lot of like scary stuff, Jobe, you're laughing. Do you not agree with my?
No, I'm with Marshall though. I almost made a note in my little doc that was similar to that of like, it's okay. Max will sacrifice himself because he knows what happens when he's sacrificed on the stone table. He was there when the dark magic was written.
So, I don't think I've seen Lion Witch in the Wardrobe since it like first hit theaters. So I don't remember anything.
But you've read the books, though.
I have.
Yeah.
Marshall, the books are so good.
Wait, me and Marshall were one trace.
Yeah. I did like all the personalities of the people, even though they're like some of them were shitty.
Yeah.
It was shitty that you like it's okay for them to die and you're like, whatever. But like you kind of there was some reconciliation there trying to happen. You're like, come on, Christmas spirit, you motherfuckers. But they couldn't spirit enough Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Max for being with Stevie. Yep. For being with
Christmas spirit?
For being with Stevie at the end and still trying to save his cousin, even though she was the one that was being shitty to him immediately. And he's just like, no, give me back my cousin. I'd have been like, nah. You know that time you read my Christmas wish list in front of the whole family? Have fun in hell.
Remember those 57 times you called me Maxi Pad?
It's very insensitive.
See, guys, this is why you could never be the main character. You have no arc.
Of course I do.
Sure.
Look at me.
I can do it.
I'm mostly arcs.
I mean, Max's arc was, I love Christmas. I fucking hate everyone and Christmas.
Wait a minute. I love Christmas, though.
Is this all my fault? I feel slightly bad.
Oh, fuck. This is all my fault.
He does turn into Carl Weezer.
Yeah. He just, like, the animation and everything.
Hey, I mean, where creds do, I haven't done a German accent once this episode, despite there being an actual
the one time we have an actual German character and you haven't done it yet. Dude, Omi hits hard though. Love Omi.
The animation, surprisingly, for the gingerbread man and the scene where Omi is retelling like her story is like really good for fucking no reason, really.
At first it gave me Deathly Hollow vibes, like when they're telling the story of the Deathly Hollows in the movie. Like just the way that they have a little like puppet like thing with a silhouette.
Yeah, I think especially since everyone else was kind of like 2D except for Omi as a child, which is supposed to kind of, I'm assuming it's supposed to show like one, it's her point of view. Two, she was slightly more innocent, right?
Yeah,
like
and she's the one who has that that holiday spirit in her. She got that dog in her.
Not enough of it.
Or Das Hund.
Oh.
There it is.
God.
Oh, that's all
what have you unleashed?
Oh, that's unspooky Santa.
There we go.
I do have to say, for all intents and purposes, all the adults make pretty smart decisions. Smarter decisions for like a horror movie.
That's fair. They do actually like. It's really weird. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird to consider, given the fact that 2 of their kids were taken at one point, and they were still like, "No, we want to go get our kid. We want to go get our kid, but we do have 4 other ones here that need to be protected. So let's just hunker down."
They also weren't torn up too much about Howie Jr. biting
No,
the dust.
no,
You can definitely
literally
tell he
no
was lowest on
one.
the totem pole.
no one was upset about Howie Jr.
We had kind of already had him written off.
My son, Howie, he's dead. This is so sad.
Even the dad, Howard, though, was just more upset that he fell asleep and that he couldn't be the hero to save his son than he was about his son being killed. Or taken, at least. Like, it was much more like, our little boy's dead. And he's like, a shepherd's supposed to protect his flock.
From just his initial reactions, he had a bigger reaction to his Hummer breaking than Howie being taken.
100%.
Which is weird.
Because he probably has about the same amount of money in both.
Yeah. They're both getting the same gas mileage.
Howie's a piece of shit, though. You know? You can just look at that kid and be like, he's a piece of shit. He's a motherfucker. He's gonna grow up and be a fucking skinhead or something.
Oh my god.
They abduct his baby. Like his little girl, they abduct his baby. I still think he's more upset about the things that are inconveniencing him in that moment. But I'll jump on the Jack in the Box. Why not?
Well, I think at that point he's like, there goes a third. I gotta really do something about this.
If I don't leave now, Lynn is gonna be so mad at me later. I don't want to deal with that.
Let's talk about Aunt Dorothy. She shows up uninvited, first off.
Okay, amazing. Love the actress. She's great, but
loves to bitch about the entirety of the dinner, right? Like, what the hell is this? You don't even have a ham on Christmas? Excuse me, ma'am. It's December 23rd. Chill your fucking tits for a sec, all right? And then she's bitching about other things. You know, I can't believe you're making shit that I can't even fucking pronounce. Like, what are you making this time? What is this? It's creme brulee. Everyone knows creme brulee. I love creme brulee.
Have you never seen High School Musical?
I hate kids, even when I was one. All right, let's go learn how to make peppermint schnapps. Oh, I'll see you in hell. Lovely character. 10 out of 10.
Inches from unaliving myself, but then, boop, turned 18. Oh, she's dead now.
Oh.
She died.
Oh, she is?
2020.
We die in the movie. We die in real life.
Oh my god. It's just like that. The greatest anime of all time.
What did we all think about the actual Krampusy horror design, character design, creature design?
I liked it.
I do too.
The first scene we see him like jumping from rooftop to rooftop, I'm just like, ooh, that's fun. He's crazy
because he's big and burly, but like he's fast.
The very first scene we see him in where he's jumping, like you said, it did give like the Beauty and the Beast for some reason. Like,
yeah, I get what you mean.
Right? But the more we see him, especially in the later scenes with Max, and he's like lit up more, and you see him like really hunched over, long claws. I did say to Madison, his horns looked delectable to just take a bite. I don't know why. Just there was a shot where it was above him. And you see his horns going way over his head. I'm like, man, I'm just thinking about bugles right now. Like,
Max is replaced by Marshall, and he picks up Marshall as a child, and he's like, "I'm gonna eat you next." And Marshall's like, "Not if I eat you first."
Oh man!
But it was a big enough figure to like just be freaky as just huge in stature,
and have like an intimidating presence.
But it wasn't over the top. Huge horns, big claws, big hunch. That's all you need in a good character. Big ass tongue. Now this is coming from a guy who's got a little bitty tongue. Shout out to all my tongue ties people out there. You know this thing. I got a little baby tongue.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, for
tongue.
Audience picturing of Marshall, his tongue like makes it about a half inch past the bottom lip.
Because I got that little attachment, you know. I added the deluxe edition, but
the deluxe edition. It's really wide though. Is the thing like it's wider than it is long.
He's got that tunic tongue.
It's like a chode of a tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Real chode of a tongue.
That's what they called me in high school.
2-inch pounder of a tongue. Anywho, off of tongue lore. The plot, it's very simple. There's nothing too crazy about it, right? It's just one family. Would you consider this one family or two families? Poll for the audience.
Two worlds, one family.
One family.
Nice.
All right. That will be
my
it.
ass. Fuck my dick.
One family, two households, just trying to survive an evil Christmas night. But it's not really Christmas. It's December 24th. That's besides the point.
Like at least a 3-inch tongue.
Couple things that stood out to me as being a little weird is the one really is Dorothy comes in and is asking for eggnog immediately because she wants to get drunk.
Okay.
Eggnog is not inherently alcoholic.
Well,
right?
okay. I think most families like that are gonna. If you have a family member who drinks a lot of alcohol, you definitely have a special eggnog recipe for that one person.
No,
Or people.
I definitely think this family, she would have made everything else and would have just bought a carton of eggnog at the store. And Dorothy would have had Dorothy would have had a flask with her. She had a flask. She would have had another flask for eggnog specific.
She's probably got like that dog in her, and I assume that she can somehow convert the egg in the eggnog to alcohol and like ferments it as it's going down her throat.
Yeah.
Wow.
That makes sense. Let's go around and say everyone's least favorite Christmas song really quick for the audience. Mine is the 12 Days of Christmas.
Really?
I hate that one.
Wait, why?
Because it's so long and so not fun.
It's only 12 minutes.
That's just not a fun Christmas song.
I don't know
It's
if
too
that's
much.
true, but I don't know. I was really only asking you what your favorite one was because I couldn't think of one.
This is least favorite. Least favorite.
Sorry, your least favorite. My bad.
Least favorite.
I feel like I don't know if I should say
the
that.
one Paul McCartney one where it just goes simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
That was so good though.
Okay,
Look,
maybe it's just
I had it ruined for
Jobe
me
doing it.
working at Walmart.
We've had this conversation.
We have this exact one.
But unpopular opinion, I just don't really love Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
God,
it's too overrated.
I was more worried you're gonna say "Last Christmas" by Wham, and then I was gonna have to throw down.
No, it's fine. It just really isn't. It doesn't do it for me.
To all our listeners, put your least favorite Christmas song down below, and then we'll compile a playlist of them, and we can send it to your worst enemy.
And if you do the Alvin and the Chipmunks song, you're fucking wrong.
All right, they might be right.
No, that shit slaps.
So I like how this is really. It's not just a horror movie set at Christmas or based on some Christmas sort of folklore, but to me, it really feels like a Christmas movie, you know?
Yes.
Because it's all centered around, family and all that bullshit. So for me, it wins points for that just because, like, you don't see it a whole lot, and the fact that it still, like, leans into being this Christmas movie or holiday movie or whatever you want to say.
It's a Christmas horror movie, not a horror movie at Christmas, right? Is what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get that. It's not like The Conjuring happened, but it's also December 25th. Think about that, guy. No, like this is a horror movie, and the main antagonist is entirely based in Christmas lore and Christmas spirit, family, and all that stuff. So it really ties in together. I know my wife, our lovely editor, was she had to go into the other room and watch another Christmas movie because she's like, I like Christmas movies because they have Christmas spirit and happy endings and family. This was none of that.
It does.
It doesn't. They all know the horrors of what happened, and now they're trapped eternally in a snow globe.
But it didn't really.
See, I interpret that ending more so as
it's like a warning.
Yeah, like they kind of know in the back of their mind. They're like, this is giving me a sense of dread for some reason.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Happy-Go-Lucky Christmas.
Yeah. It's just like Krampus is like, watch yourself.
Yeah, that's just Krampus's watch list.
From the official lore, he does end up sparing them, so they're all alive in canon. However, once he picks up the Krampus spell, they get their memories from the night before of the entire thing, not just the feeling. Like they get the exact memories of what happened.
Like I'm sure they still like remember the pain of like getting bit or getting like stabbed or whatever that happens to them in that moment.
So they're gonna have to live with that and all those decisions they made. And Beth is gonna be sitting there like, man, this all happened to y'all afterwards. I died. I was the first one dead.
That's crazy. I died real quick. That's insane.
What? That's nuts.
I actually didn't even die. The Jack in the Box just let me watch everything.
I died like a bitch.
What do you think the baby Chrissy would do though when she's older and she's like, I keep having this weird dream that like we were all kidnapped and murdered by demons, and the rest of the family goes,
yeah, weird dream. Anyway,
Steve, yeah, no,
I mean
that, or she's gonna have some like she's just not gonna be adjusted well to life.
Das und trauma.
I think she's probably too young to fully comprehend the memories of that and would probably fade with time. The funny part would be when the rest of the family just knows all of this stuff happened and that they're very careful to keep the holiday spirit going, and then for whatever reason, like years from now, the baby is all grown up and she gets mad about something and she's like, you know what? I wish you guys just weren't around anymore. And then everybody's like, fuck. We have to do this shit all over again. And then they just like start boarding up the house immediately.
I assume Omi makes it this far and she's on like her third Krampus event.
Yeah,
like
card. Like she's had
on your fifth Krampus you get one free.
Okay, so there's
Ralph's coupon.
The scene is like Krampus just walks up to her, obviously recognizes her, and just kind of rubs his weird little talon on her cheek, and then opens his. Shut up.
Oh, you didn't hear her say? She goes, "I'm your biggest fan," and he goes, "Buddy."
Ik liebe dich.
And she goes, "Ach, my name is not Buddy."
It's not even a Gritty Boy.
So he opens his terror sack, and a lot of spinning blades and shit are there. He's not killing Omi in that moment. That is her like last punch card, and he's like, "Go ahead and take a present. It's your 10th."
He opens up his boy purse.
Do you remember that bit at the end where like Krampus has his little tongue out at Max and he looks at Max and he goes, "It's because your dad's dead."
No.
It's more of Max. I was waiting for a good moment for this, but this is gonna say.
I had to get in front of it to kill it off because it's so bad.
It's just Max like kind of like showing up and he's just like, please, I want my family. Everyone's gone. Everyone sacrificed himself for me. My dad's dead. He's gone.
Wow, that was good. Okay, we can put this one up
Moving
on the board as dead jokes, right?
as a good Masmith joke, and it's still funny.
As a good one. I can't believe it. 12 in a row.
Another one, baby.
So funny. I can't wait till next week.
Hold on, let me count real quick.
It's a lot. Because there is one every single episode after Sleepy Hollow.
The past 9 or 10, I think now.
So, as someone who's lived in a snowy environment for a little bit of their life, there's a lot of things that you don't do in a snowy environment. As I said before, you don't send your teen daughter out in a blizzard, even though it's like if it's like -30, you just don't do that, right? Back me up here, guys. Who's with me?
No, it was very
yeah.
I don't know. I get that that she's at that age where she's probably gonna start. She's obviously already rebelling, and like the dad probably just doesn't want to deal with this, and he's like, go let her go hang out with her boyfriend.
Let her
Mom's
freeze to death.
Fine, whatever. Nah, if my daughter's coming and going, Derek hasn't answered me in 10 minutes, and that's so unlike him, then I'm gonna go, fuck, he's dead.
Parks and Rec acknowledge that the power's out, the water's out. Cell phones don't work. Radio's probably out. And he's like, yeah, I'll have no way of communicating with you. But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go on.
She was definitely the least favorite in the family.
I don't know. Max sucks.
Max cool.
Oh,
Shut up.
Max is fine.
I mean, he gets
cool.
better.
He
gets better, but he seems
cool.
like an annoying, shitty kid when we first meet him.
We have to acknowledge the travesty of what Black Friday has become, because watching the beginning of Black Friday, I know I've been seeing it on Twitter everywhere. People are like, Black Friday is a fucking joke.
What's Twitter?
I used to see it on the internet, well, from my sources, my people, and they all taught an X joke.
Because that's what Twitter is now.
What's Twitter?
X.
What's Twitter?
It's
I only
just
know
X.
X.
What?
Anywho, but like, remember we used to kill people over shit, for deals, right?
I went Black Friday shopping once, and a guy got full spear tackled by a security guard and arrested like 2 feet behind me, and I went, wow, that's wild.
Was his dad dead too?
No, I don't know, maybe.
Anywho, but it just felt good seeing people just getting tased, fighting over stuffed animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
the good old days.
It felt like Christmas. Someone was like, "I know Christmas, and I'm making a movie about Christmas."
I'm not gonna lie, Omi looks good for 81.
Which is weird because Black Friday is like almost a month before Christmas.
But it's like it's the start of the holiday season, Job.
Oh,
is
I
it?
see.
Right, because Thanksgiving's over, and then that's when the clock dings, strike 1 second for beginning of Christmas.
That's when the 12 days of Christmas starts.
No, theoretically, no.
A month before.
Anywho, I liked the acting performances of everyone, even the kids. They were like not terrible. The baby was fine.
They weren't awful. I feel like
I mean, it's pretty easy just to tell a kid to go be a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, go fuck over your cousin.
Like Howie didn't even say a fucking word, and everyone hated him.
Howie was screaming at one point, but other than that, help! And then everyone's like, okay, sure. Probably. Well, that's true. Dorothy did give him a hit of peppermint schnapps.
Has anyone here seen that movie Bad Santa?
Yeah.
Okay. Howie looks like the boy from that, and the kid what plays Max.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this is whitewashing. I think he looks like the guy that plays Blue Beetle in Blue Beetle.
That's whitewashing. He's the kid from Chef with Jon Favreau.
I've never seen that.
Really?
God, you.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We should look at that. It's just they both have long curly brown hair.
It's just the hair. That's all it is.
White boy with curly hair.
Yeah, he's a white Jaime.
He is Mexican.
This guy would make a great Jaime Reyes if they decided he was white instead.
His occupation, it says so Wikipedia has him listed as age 20. His occupation, child actor model.
Ooh, and he has parents.
And he's 20 years old as a child actor. Job, you could be a child actor.
Actually, I don't know if he's white. Salazar is not a very white name.
Salazar Slytherin? The fuck?
Yep.
That's like the whitest man to live. Like,
I don't know. Salazar is definitely not white.
Salazar is definitely white. Salazar Slytherin.
So, fictional characters aside.
No, it's Spanish.
Spanish is white.
Not really.
Chill out there, blood.
Anyway. So yeah, performances are all pretty good. I did think it was kind of funny how like I don't know. I feel like one problem I have with this movie is Max kind of takes a back seat for most of the middle.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because he's the smart one. He said, fuck, I'm hanging out with Grandmama. She survived this shit before.
It's like it shifts in main character, though. Like, it seems like he's supposed to be the focus, and then they, like, just turn and it's like suddenly, oh, the parents are actually the most important.
Well, he's not going to lead the whole crusade against Krampus.
Why
right?
not?
He's a child. He didn't even know how to think to grab the fire extinguisher.
That's
Shout out to everyone. Hey, everyone, important safety announcement. Tell your kids where the fire extinguisher is. Because what happens if you are, helping your kid not get pulled up from a fire chimney by a Krampus demon, and something catches on fire, and you need a kid to go put out the fire with the fire extinguisher, they need to know where the fire extinguisher is in all case of emergencies. Shout out to fire safety.
Rescue Rangers. G.I. Joe!
That was... God damn it.
So...
Good segue.
I know I feel like I bring him up a lot for any
You do.
movie involving children. But Kevin McAllister would do great in this scenario.
God
Dude,
damn.
Home Alone is not that good of a movie.
I've
right,
seen
but
Home Alone
2?
It's the same movie.
I haven't seen Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
I've seen half of Home Alone 1. And
Well, there's your problem, champ.
He's not even home in the second one.
That's
Hotel
why they call
Alone.
it Lost in New York.
But it's not Home Alone. It's
I have
Hotel Alone.
the short response question for the class here. Take your
Okay.
time to respond. We're gonna swap the kids around with Babadook.
Oh God, that's
This
Howie.
movie and the other movie we just watched that was not Babadook. Vivarium. We're gonna rotate them. So
good
Babadook
movie.
lives in Vivarium. Vivarium is in Krampus, and Max is in Babadook.
Okay.
Jobe, how would you think it goes?
Well,
Is he answering for all of them?
First off, this is stupid because the kid in Vivarium is the monster. So
No, I mean, yeah.
No. Go.
Answer.
Well, because then,
right.
think about it.
Okay, so kid in Vivarium joins Kramp Kringle.
No, because Krampus was summoned because of the tossing of the paper into the air after he ripped up the letter. He wouldn't have had a Christmas letter, so no Krampus. It would just be the kid. This whole family has to raise this one
That's
kid.
streamlining. Because that's not technically why Krampus shows up. It is in this movie, but
There's
the
2
actual
points.
lore.
It correlates. It correlates.
Okay,
a little bit.
Okay, Max is now in Babadook then?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of Max screaming at his mom.
That all plays out the exact same, except Max does accidentally kill his mom when she falls down the stairs.
He stabs her in the throat.
And finally, Babadook Boy, whatever his name was, in Vivarium, just is raised in suburban England.
I mean, yeah.
It just becomes Boy Meets World or some shit.
Yeah,
no, because there's no other houses. It's just him, Jesse Eisenberg, and the British.
Well, there is other houses. There's just
no other people.
So yeah, they just genuinely all get along. And
then who's he gonna run his mouth to? No one's gonna give
the Babadook shows up regardless.
The Babadook is having trouble slipping through the realities.
Ooh,
like he's popping around like I got. Oh, where are you? Where are they? Maybe they're in this one. And they open a door and they're like, oh no, he's not there either.
Yeah, shout out to Vivarium. That sucked.
Yeah.
Vivarium kicked ass.
Shut up! You bring this up all the time. Every single time I talk to you. Oh, Vivarium this.
You
Vivarium
scored that higher than Monster House, and we're not forgetting that.
Vivarium suck my.
I think Jobe's a little bit wrong in the kid from Vivarium though. It's not that he would join Krampus. He would actively be fighting him. Like Krampus would show up and his tongue would unroll and he'd do a little roar. The kid would immediately drop on all fours and start crawling around on the ceiling and attacking the little helpers. And there'd be a big fight sequence.
Honestly, I don't think he even gets that far. I think the kid does one weird thing, and Howard just puts the shotgun to his fucking head. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, if Howard's still around by this point, he sees the kid go rough.
Howard said he's a demon. He's a lizard man. Goddamn Democrat.
You belong back in the ground.
Sorry, Tommy, your boy was a fucking Democrat. You know, I had to put him down this way.
Actually, speaking of that, though, there is one thing I didn't fully catch right away when they brought in the big Christmas sack from the
of
porch.
Course you forgot that.
I didn't catch that being the angry toys right away.
Are you kidding me? The DHL man said that wasn't us. Probably the boys in brown.
Well, I assumed it was going to be something crazy, but they also just bring it in and then we don't see it again. And then I just didn't process that when they were getting the toys.
It's the Chekhov's gun. Shout out to Chekhov's gun people out there.
Yo, what up?
So have y'all ever gotten something delivered by DHL? I got like one thing ever.
What is DHL?
It's another delivery. It's like UPS, but not as big.
But worse.
Cringe.
Yeah. I don't think I ever have. It's not like a good.
It's not real. I don't think.
If you ever buy sketchy shit, if you get sketchy shit, like you buy. I think I bought like a buddy, like a display. You know those metal like things that you always see on YouTube ads. Back in like high school, and it like came for DHL, and the guy was like texting me. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
It gives me the same energy as buying from the Swan truck.
The Schwan man.
The Schwan, yeah. Sorry.
Shout out to my Schwan guys.
Like I bought one thing of cookies from him once, and I never bought anything else again because I was like, oh, I don't like these. Everything he has.
I think the Schwan guy could take Krampus in a fight.
It depends on the Schwan guy.
He would throw the frozen pizzas like ninja stars.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's part of their training to fight Krampus. Hey, if you go to a house and all the Christmas spirit has been lost, look out for a snowman and Krampus. Also, the snowman shtick was giving like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. Shout out to anyone that's ever seen Doctor Who.
It really seemed like they were supposed to symbolize like the people that have been taken.
Yes.
Or killed.
Well, because Howard steps outside and he sees a little Howie, fat snowman, and he goes, Howie.
He knows that's his son because the fucker is around and there's no thoughts in his head. And he goes, "That's my boy.
That's my boy."
Dude, the kid chugs like half of a 2-liter in one go.
A 2-liter of a
like off-brand Mountain Dew. Yeah,
that was Trace as a youth.
Trace only drinks on-brand Mr.
I mean, I will admit I have an addiction to Mountain Dew now. I actually didn't start drinking I didn't drink any pop until I was 13 years old because I was convinced I wouldn't like it.
To all my viewers out there that aren't from the Midwest, pop is soda.
Yeah.
For all those that don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Get it right, because soda is
these nuts in your mouth.
So overall, this one gets a lot of leeway from me just because it is a Christmas movie and I'm a whore for that. It is also, it's PG-13. It's marketed towards, younger viewers to watch with the family.
Really? I thought it was freaky as shit.
I honestly can't tell if that's sarcasm or
not. No, it makes a lot of sense. Of course he's telling the truth.
Okay, the scene where they go up and they just see the caterpillar just...
That part is freaky.
That's scarring.
That whole shtick where they're up in the attic and they're like fighting for their lives against these like multitude of creatures and Howard's having trouble fending off 3 gingerbread cookies. Like, come on, guys.
This would have different energy if we were watching it in theater, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little intense for younger viewers or marshals, but if you're a horror fan, your child probably has already seen like bits and pieces here and there of messed up shit. So
shout out to Bits and Pieces.
Never coming out.
Go watch that movie in 10 years. Jobe and I are in it.
Anyway.
Oh god, that one?
Yeah. Get on it, man.
But yeah, no, I agree with Jobe. Like, if your kid is like raised in a household where your parents are like, you have to be 13 to watch PG-13 movies, and it's gonna be like whatever, right? But if your kid is you're trying a different style of parenting, you're just like, you know what, I think my kid is mature enough to watch this movie. They might like it. They might be freaked out, but they might like it. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
It is very fun.
That's how it started for me. I did have a childhood of like, oh yeah, it's 13. We're not watching 13.
Mark it off your bingo boards for this week, guys. Trace talks about his childhood. And don't forget the other one where everyone brings up the fact that Trace talked about his childhood.
Are those texting each other on your bingo board?
No, they're cross.
Overall, I give Krampus, the Saga of Saint Dick, 7 out of 10.
What's wrong, Marshall? You look so sad now.
No, that's fine.
Is it just that he's still scoring that similar to that of Vasectomy, which was a terrible movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I assume that was probably the case. Well, so there's one quick thing I want to touch on, and it's Pervy Santa.
Pervy Santa.
That's
all my pervy Santas out there.
Yeah.
No, they don't get a shout out.
Please stop looking at 12-year-old girls' asses in pictures. It's weird. And if I catch you doing it myself, I don't know, I'll alert the authorities.
That's my asshole.
I mean, it's not too far off from language, I guess. I like it. I feel like the little bonfire party at the end was given major Ewok party vibes at the end of Return of the Jedi. So that was pretty cool. I'm just a big fan of the story of Krampus because I thought that was cool when I was in German class and our teacher was like, and this guy goes around and he starts smacking people with bundles of sticks and puts little boys and girls in his big sack. And I'm like, that's terrifying. Of course, now it's much funnier. I'm gonna go ahead and give it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Knocking off a couple of points though because he didn't have a little bundle of sticks wrapped up to spank people with.
He did not spank anybody. I don't think
he's supposed to. That's his whole
Enough
thing.
with the spanking shit.
I wish
Marshall here to give you an unspank score.
Dude, spank me.
I watched Krampus about like 30 minutes ago in preparation for our podcast. I had a lovely time. Very
an hour ago.
Yeah.
You
said 20 minutes ago, like 40 minutes ago.
Lovely movie, very entertaining. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a little freaky at parts, but just enough to keep me like going, ooh. With that, I am going to give Krampus here a 7.88. 7.88 scary in parentheses. So
7.8. That's German.
I would just like to point out that Marshall also didn't rank this movie higher than I ranked Vivarium.
Yeah, again, okay, your standard for scoring is not a good place to settle here.
Okay, I ranked it higher than I ranked Vivarium at 1.32.
And that's what matters.
The averages are all off.
I scored this higher
Bit of
than
a mess.
other movies that I think were better.
God, I'm so sexy.
Let's let the people vote, not land.
Let's
what do you say,
let's pick a half episode and go back and change our scores for everything, having hindsight.
This is what's going to happen. Our viewers, you, the listener out there, you're who I'm talking to. Come here. Come in close. Hopefully you scoot in. I need you to comment down below. Is Jobe a dirty, filthy idiot? Or are Marshall and Trace just so smart and intelligent, and they know horror movies that are good?
Hey, Adam/Dad, can you please comment on this episode specifically? Answering if your son is.
So, quick thank you to the sponsor, Bundles of Sticks. Use them to beat your children.
Oh, we're doing this bit again? We haven't in the last 6 episodes.
Of course we did.
Have we not?
No, we
did. We definitely have.
I don't know if it's been 8, but it's been a while.
We actually need to shout out 2 important people.
That's true. That's
commenting. It was Built for Play 40. Shout out Built for Play 40 are commenting on our videos, and I think it was Spungus Bungus, if I'm pronouncing
it was Skippy Peebus.
Oh, my bad. Skippy Peebus.
Spungus Bungus is so good though.
So, happy holidays.
Anybody listening, please make a new Spotify account to listen to us. I need it to be Spungus Bungus.
Okay, catch us next week on Scared by Scared podcast when we watching No One Will Save You?
No one will save you.
No one will save you.
And I'm ask nicely and I will.
All right, bye.